What made Max abandon the tent at midnight? A gentle morning begins in the quiet garden, where the small tent stands ready for an adventure. Then, the two friends begin their grand mission, carefully securing the tent ropes to the soft earth. Soon, their little camp is ready, standing tall under the gentle shade of the garden's banana trees. After that, they prepare the camera to record the brave stories of their great backyard survival journey. As the morning sun shines, Max begins his heroic tales, full of imaginary courage and youthful spirit. Meanwhile, Timmy watches over the filming, ensuring everything goes exactly according to their very silly plans. Later, more supplies are brought in, with a heavy basket packed carefully for their long, tough day. Secretly, a small stash of sausages is tucked under the pillow, hidden away from any hungry eyes. Then, they boil water for tea, listening to the soft, rhythmic bubbling of the tiny metal pot. Gradually, they enjoy the warmth of their drinks, feeling quite accomplished in their little survival camp. As the sun begins to set, the garden takes on a lovely golden glow, signaling evening arrival. With the twilight approaching, they click on their flashlight, its beam flickering against the gathering shadows nearby. In the deepening dark, the songs of insects begin to fill the air with rhythmic garden sounds. A small fire crackles, its soft, dancing light bringing a cozy, warm feeling to their little campsite. With growing enthusiasm, Max tells his brave stories, his face lit by the warm, flickering firelight. Nearby, the kitchen window shines with a warm, steady light, feeling like a safe, distant harbor. Suddenly, a loud thud echoes through the dark, and Max freezes in his seat, heart racing. It was only a falling coconut, but in the silence of the night, it sounded terrifyingly heavy. The coat on the branch seems to shift in the wind, taking on a monstrous, looming shape. Then, deep snoring from the neighbor's house rumbles through the fence, sounding like a wild forest bear. Terrified by the imagined beast, Max scrambles out of the tent, his face full of funny panic. He darts away from the tent, heart pounding as he races back toward the safety of home. However, he stops to think about his audience, not wanting to lose face on his grand challenge. Slowly, he creeps back, trying his best to look brave for the camera he left behind. He forces a shaky smile for the camera, though his eyes are still scanning the dark garden. Behind the lens, Timmy giggles quietly, finding his friend's exaggerated reactions to be absolutely delightful to watch. The failed camping attempt is captured perfectly, showing every hilarious moment of Max's ongoing struggle tonight. Finally, exhaustion takes over, and Max slowly drifts into sleep while sitting right near the kitchen. The night grows quiet and calm, leaving only the soft rustling of leaves in the dark. Under the pale moonlight, the little campsite rests, peaceful and still in the middle of night. Morning arrives with the soft singing of birds, waking the garden from its long, dark sleep. Awakening, Max stretches and blinks, feeling surprisingly well-rested despite the strange, adventurous night he endured. With a sudden realization, he sees that he slept right by the kitchen door, not the tent. To his surprise, he discovers he had eaten all the cookies while sleepily wandering around tonight. Timmy then steps outside, holding the camera and laughing as he sees his friend's surprised face. They share a laugh, recounting the funny details of how their survival challenge truly ended up. They watch the footage together, realizing their funny failure was the most charming part of all. Afterward, they help each other tidy up the camp, folding the tent with great care today. Together, they clean the area, picking up the wrappers and clearing away all the leftover mess. The garden looks clean again, but filled with the memories of their little, brave overnight adventure. They rest on the porch steps, feeling happy and proud of surviving their wild garden journey. A simple morning snack tastes wonderful, marking the perfect end to their fun, silly camping experiment. And finally, the camera recording stops, ending their documentary on a sweet and happy note. They sit together, watching the garden settle back into its gentle, quiet, and peaceful morning rhythm. The garden stays silent and green, holding on to the secret of their successful, funny backyard survival. Their backyard survival challenge became a comedy of shadows, strange sounds, and missing snacks. The frightening thud was only a coconut. The monster in the branches was merely a coat, and the wild bear beyond the fence was just their neighbor. Still, Max's imagination made each harmless detail feel enormous as darkness covered the garden. Although he ran toward the house, he returned for the camera because he wanted his audience to believe he was brave. By morning, the truth was even funnier. He had slept beside the kitchen door and eaten every cookie during the night. Timmy's recording captured the panic, the shaky smile, and the ridiculous ending, proving that their failed adventure was more entertaining than a perfect camping trip. Sometimes the best survival story is not about defeating danger, but discovering that the greatest monster